M101sec16num77. Number 77. In this problem, we're given a function, h of x is the quantity x plus 4 squared plus 2 times the quantity x plus 4. And we're asked to decompose this function into two functions where f of g of x is equal to original h of x. Okay, so now the way we want to think about this is what pieces of this function do we want to essentially mask by replacing them with a g. Okay. Now, another way of thinking about it is what is happening inside of other things, right? Because we want our g to be a thing that is happening inside of stuff. Now, for this one, probably the most straightforward thing to notice is that there's an x plus 4 happening inside of our parentheses. And it's nice and consistent. It's squared here, right? But it's linear here. So if I let g of x is equal to x plus 4, now I can replace all of my x plus 4s with this g of x. So we're going to get g of x squared plus 2 times our g of x. Okay. Now, what does this mean for our outside function? Now, remember, x is just a placeholder. We can think of it like the magic box, right? So our f of g of x is going to be this thing. But let's think about it in terms of, instead of a g, let's think about it in terms of our magic box. Instead of a g, we're going to get a magic box squared here plus 2 times our magic box. Okay? Now, this x is just a letter, so if I place it here, everywhere there's a magic box, I have to replace it. Okay? So now this gives me a g of x is equal to x plus 4. And now I have masked that x plus 4s with the g of x's. And then I've replaced the g of x's, right? It doesn't matter what I stick in there. Well, let's stick the x's. So f of x is going to be what's left over, x squared plus 2 times x. Okay. So there is our nicely decomposed function. And if we want to check it out, if I put everything back in, do I get the same function back? F of g of x. Okay. Instead of x, I want to put my g of x, which was x plus 4 squared, plus 2 times my, instead of x, I want to put my g of x, x plus 4. And I do indeed get the exact thing back. Okay? So the question to ask is, what is the thing happening inside? I'm going to let that be my g of x, and then I'm going to replace all of those things where that happens with the g, which then I can use kind of this magic box to say, okay, well, what would it have been had I just let this be some arbitrary anything x? All right, so good luck. We got a couple practice problems so that you can check and see where you're at on that. And be sure to ask questions in class. All right, good luck.